This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hockeytown West podcast. And today we are joined by another guest, another former Grand Rapids Griffin. As you all know, we're trying to go through this 30th anniversary season, bring back some guys from former teams and just talk about their time in Grand Rapids, the city, and the team overall. And we're joined by probably one of the toughest guys to ever put on a Griffins jersey today. He was a 2009 Red Wings draft pick. He spent 6 seasons with the Griffins. He won 2 Calder Cups, and word on the street is some of his teeth are still in Dog's office drawer today. Welcome to the show, Mitch Callahan. Mitch, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, when Dog told me that your teeth are still in the drawer, I was like, you're joking. He's like, yeah, you want them to hold up? Just got to bring them back to me. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. Thanks.
So, yeah, Louis Margaubrey and Sproley picked him up off the ice after I got hit. And you can see on YouTube is a video, and they're putting in Dog's hand, and he just started to put it in an envelope and then put it to his thumbnail in his office and just never took it down. So
Unreal.
He always asked if I needed them back. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with them? Like, he keeps them. It's a good story for sure.
Oh yeah. So what have you been up to since you stopped playing hockey, man?
So I retired in 2021. Unfortunately, I blew out my other knee in 2020 playing in Germany. Tried to make a little bit of a comeback. Came back in 2020-21 season. Played 6 games in Denmark, and I think kind of just hit me that my time is done. My body hurt. I didn't really like living overseas too much. I was too far away from the family. I was settling down with my girl now, and I just wanted to, kind of be in home, be that family man guy. And so retired. I retired. We were living in Los Angeles for a couple of years. We had our oldest son. We actually came back to Grand Rapids for the second bobblehead, the connector one with Tatar and Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
So the Griffins kind of, they housed us there for a weekend. So me and a few of my boys and my girls there. And then she just fell in love with living back in Michigan again. So we packed our bags and had our second son. And now we live in Michigan full time.
That's awesome. What a way to come back. You fall in love with it coming back. And that bobblehead collection's sweet. I still have it, actually. It's in the hockey room. So
it's a pretty cool thing to have, especially a trifecta one like that.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, we got to go back to the start of your career. Being from California, man, what got you into hockey?
So my parents are from Toronto. My dad played hockey growing up. He had a chance to go play in the OHL. During that time, he had a little bit of a family problem going on. Not family problem, but, it just didn't work out for him to play hockey. And then he met my mom at a wedding. One of his friends happens to be my mom's cousin. They had a wedding in Toronto, so my dad met her. Fell in love, moved all the way to Los Angeles, and then they had me. So
nice.
My other 2 uncles are both from Toronto as well. One of my aunts from Toronto on that side, and obviously I have aunts and uncles that are still in Toronto. So I have 12 boy cousins who I think 11 of us all played hockey growing up.
Dang. It's kind of nice being back closer to them being in Michigan too, I guess.
Yeah. I don't get to see them as often, but we're a 5-hour drive away.
A little bit shorter than a plane ride from California, though.
Exactly.
So we got to go back and start with your draft day. What was that day like when you found out that the Detroit Red Wings selected you?
I didn't think it was real. I didn't think I was going to get drafted, to be honest. So I was never on the central scouting. In the WHL, they put my birthday as October 12th, which would have been the 2010 draft year because it's after the September 15th cutoff date. So I never made any central scouting list. My agent says, I don't know, it could be a long shot if you get drafted. So that Friday night was round 1. My friend had a coming home party, played in the CJHL in Pembroke Lumberjacks, something like that, out in Ontario. So he came home. We had a little party with all of us. So I ended up staying the night there, and the draft was in Montreal, so 3-hour time difference. I get a phone call 9 a.m. I'm half asleep, and my agent goes, hey, wake up. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you just got drafted. I'm like, really? By who? He goes, Detroit. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So he goes, we're going to call you in the next 10 minutes. Sure enough, they called me in 2 minutes. I had to hurry up and put water in my eyes and, sound like I wasn't sleeping in. They asked me what I was doing that day. I said I was going to the gym. That wasn't true, but I try to make a good first impression.
So was there like a little bit of a rivalry though, being from Toronto, family from Toronto, and then being drafted by the Red Wings?
No, not with the Wings. But if I was drafted by Montreal, I think my dad would have been upset.
Asked for a trade right away.
Yeah. And then even playing for Team USA, my dad would cheer for me, except for when we play for Team Canada.
The rivalry never dies. It doesn't matter.
No, we have money every time USA and Canada play each other.
Then you end up starting your pro career in Grand Rapids. What was your first impression of GR when you got here?
I fell in love with the city. The best way I try to describe it is it's a big city feel, but it's a smaller population. And the downtown's beautiful. It's not overly big, but it feels like you're in a big city. Coming from Los Angeles is something I'm used to. But you seem to run into the same people everywhere you go, which made that small town feel and it made it more homey and more comfortable.
Did you have any like big spots that you guys would go out to for dinners? Anything? Your favorite spots?
Leo's is a steakhouse. It's right by Rosa Park Circle. So that's a steakhouse that me, Glendenning, and Sheehan, and even Sproly would go every night before a game.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, a big meal, and for a steakhouse, it didn't hurt you, especially on a rookie salary.
Exactly.
Through your first season with Grand Rapids, what was your like welcome to the pros moment? Was it like somebody you played against or played with, or was it maybe that first paycheck?
The paycheck was cool. No, I'd probably get my ass kicked by Eric Selleck in San Antonio. Knocked me out the rest of the year.
Oh,
it was.
That's a welcome to the pros moment. All right.
Yeah, it was like my 14th or 15th fight in like 40th game or something like that. I tried coming in as a tough guy, and then he just beat the wheels off me, and then I realized I can't be fighting guys that are too big anymore.
Did that happen before the Griffins played the outdoor game at Comerica, or did you get to participate in that?
That was our second year, I believe.
Oh, was it the second year? Okay.
Yes.
What was that game like?
It was awesome because we had Blashill as our coach then. My rookie year, we had Kurt Frazier as our head coach. And then when Blashill came in, we played the outdoor game. And he made it very, very like family involving, which is awesome. So all the families that flew in, we all stayed at the same hotel. He had a bus ride for parents to go with the players, and then like another bus for the wives and girlfriends and kids to show up, just in case some group wanted to go earlier or later. We're in the Tigers, what do they call it, clubhouse?
Yeah.
So we're in the clubhouse getting dressed before our pregame skate. We had our pregame skate, then he made it very quick. I think we were on the ice for like 8 minutes as a team. Then he had all the families, wives and girlfriends, kids go jump on the ice with us. And it was one of those things where you don't get to do all the time. So you made it more memorable and enjoyable for everybody that was involved.
That's awesome. I mean, I've heard so many good things about him as a coach, obviously. And I know Red Wings fans, when they think about his time with the Red Wings, they have negative thoughts on it. But Blash was such a good coach, such a good guy, such a team first guy.
I want to say I learned the most hockey from him.
Really?
He was very good with his details.
That makes sense. He seemed to always be pretty detail oriented. I always loved his post games because he never held back his thoughts.
Yeah. Just even in player meetings, if you weren't playing well, he'll let you know too.
Well, did it like surprise you? Like you're like, we're an American League team and we're gonna go play a game at a major league ballpark. Like this is kind of a wild start to my career, second season in.
Yeah, you don't really think about that while you're playing or mid-season. But now I look back at the small things in my career, which happen to be big things, you enjoy it more now.
Yeah, for sure.
What other things were like kind of small moments that you're looking back now that were pretty big?
For sure, the outdoor game. Another thing we did, it was after the lockout season. I think it was the same year too. We did our training camp, not in Traverse City because of the lockout. We actually had to help the Red Wings out because we were playing. We helped the Red Wings out. I think we played in Saginaw at the time, and we did a training camp, either Saginaw or Flint. I can't remember which one. And we did our training camp out there. So we got to skate with all the Red Wings guys. They did a press conference of announcing Zetterberg as captain. So all of our team got to participate in that. And even just Traverse City, because a lot of the guys in the Grand Rapids, especially the guys on two-way contracts, we got to do the golf outing. So we're even playing with, NHL legends golfing and kind of get to meet them. Like for some guys who never got called up, like they get to meet the real person behind, the hockey jersey. So those little things were always pretty special.
Who did you get to golf with?
I golfed 1 year with Z, but he was really good at golf. I'm terrible. So thankfully he was on our team. But I think I always got paired with the donors that paid the least amount of money because, you know, who are you going to pick, me or Zetterberg? So
that's fair.
yeah.
Were you a part of the in-season mini golf tournament in the 2017 year?
No, I did watch that though with the Tango podcast you guys had. I didn't do the mini golf, especially in California. I have so much family members that I had to go see family. I have family in Texas, so when we went to warmer climates, I chose to go with family. But what we did do have is, I don't think you brought this up, we played Golf Clash or something like that on our phones. It was like a stickman golf or whatever. And so there'd be like 15 guys, and if you lose a hole, you're out. So there'd be guys yelling at each other on the bus, and I think the front of the bus kind of, you know, got annoyed by it, but we did do stuff like that, or even in the airport.
Anything to pass the time on those bus trips.
Yeah. We had a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, in your second season with the organization, the team goes on to win its first ever championship. Can you just take us back to that season overall from your perspective?
I think with that year, especially in the beginning, nobody had us even in the top 5 of best teams in the AHL. We were a team that as soon as playoffs started, we kind of hung around it. First series, we were down 2-0 to Houston Astros, and we ended up winning 3 straight. The second round, we took Toronto to Game 6, and we gave them a little life, so we had doubt there. Not from the team, but obviously from the outsiders. And then our third round, we had Oklahoma City, where we had to go to Game 7. So we knew if we were going to make it to the finals that another round's not going to stop us. We were there for the long haul.
That series in Oklahoma was interesting too. Didn't you guys have like to go through like a tornado warning and all this other crazy stuff during that time?
We actually had to postpone our game 24 hours.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So our side of the locker room was fine, but that rink was a piece of shit. It was a conference center. So it didn't even look like a hockey rink. You're in a damn ballroom, and then you go to the door to the right and you open the door. It's like, oh my God, there's a hockey rink here. So that rink was terrible. And their locker room got flooded and all their gear was almost destroyed. But another good thing that we did that year, it didn't really go on cameras, but we donated, each player and staff member donated each half of our winnings, because you get paid from the league for your winnings. We all donated half of our winnings to the city of Oklahoma to help rebuild houses.
That's awesome. I had no clue that happened.
Yeah.
You're right. That doesn't end up on camera, but that's sweet.
It was one of those things where it was asked around, and I think the older guys on the team said, yeah, let's do it. I know some of the younger guys like, hey, I could use this money. But at the end of the day, it was the best thing to happen. We get to play hockey for a living, help the people that are really in need.
That's so cool. I love that.
That Arrows team that you guys played, was it Todd coaching that team, Todd McClellan?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I think it might have been, because I remember us getting told about something with Todd coming in, and Arrows played us really well that season, but then we got the final laugh in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that was like one of his first years coaching.
Didn't you go from Detroit to there? You went under Babcock as an assistant?
I think so. Something. My hockey knowledge. Our other host that's usually with us is my like hockey encyclopedia when it comes to the older days and stuff, because I don't remember it well. So yeah, it might be right.
I feel like that's what Bob said during the preseason, so that's why I brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, you guys, I remember that. But he said we ended up beating Houston's in a tough matchup. What are your thoughts so far on this year's Griffins team?
I mean, the only game they lost was in overtime, right?
They got one regulation loss since then.
Oh,
just one.
Yeah, I was talking to Corey Carlander a couple of days ago. I coached against him now in Michigan in youth hockey. So we were talking about how good this team is doing this year, and you know, they're onto something special, and I hope they can go all the way, because I'm still close with Lashoff and Shiner. So I love those guys, and I want nothing but the best for them.
I want to go back to the celebration real quick for the year that you guys won it. What did you do, and what was it like with the cup? The
best story from the 2013 was Tristan Grant, and I know he has no problem with me sharing this. So Thomas Tatar took Larry Fergusi's, because Larry Fergusi, I think he was a part-time with Wood TV or something back then. And so he has a camera over his shoulder interviewing everybody. But Okay, long story short, but when we won, we always yell the bus driver, stop the bus, stop the bus. Did you guys remember pack the 2 points? And then the whole bus ride goes nuts, right? Like it's a little tradition hockey players have on the life on the road. And so Granner's like, hey, should I do it to the pilot? I'm like, oh man, I don't know. He goes, fuck it. So he goes over the intercom and the stewardess are all sitting down and we're taking off. Well, we just won the cup. There's no rules. And so he gets over the intercom and goes, pilot, stop the plane, stop the plane. And everybody's like looking back, like, what's going on? He goes, did you guys pack the Calder cup? And the plane went nuts. But the stewardess are flipping out, taking all their stuff off, yelling at him like, you cannot yell that to a pilot. He goes, it's tradition. I'm just sitting there. And it was one of the craziest things. If you're doing it on a normal airplane, you're, Homeland Security is a lot for a long time. But that was one of the best things that happened on that plane. It was just, I can still remember that to this day.
That might be my new favorite championship story that we've heard. And we've heard some doozies between Toledo and Grand Rapids. Wow. That's awesome.
One thing to do it on a bus. Totally different thing to do it on a plane.
Taking off out of Syracuse, like going 200 miles an hour on the tarmac, just taking off.
Oh my gosh.
On the runway. And he just screams that. And the steward is all unbutton their seatbelts, take off all their safety stuff and starts screaming at him.
And obviously a few seasons later, you guys go win it again. This time on home ice for the first time ever. Was it even better than the first one?
Yeah, it's a different kind of better. Obviously, your first championship, you're always going to remember everything. You remember the grind. But to win it at home, I think it was just such a storybook ending to the city of Grand Rapids. Just because we had 3 chances to win it in 2013 at home. And lost 3 games, two games to win it at home. We lost 2 in a row. Had to go there game 6 to win it. So it was something that the fans really needed, the city really needed. And it was nice because a lot of people had their families fly in for that.
Yeah.
My mom lost her big toenail that night.
What?
Sam Ianamico, the photographer, he's like 4'8" or something on a good day. Maybe 4'11", I don't know. He's an older guy. And he's our team photographer. And so he's on the ice with his skates on. So we go in the locker room, we have our families in there, my mom's in there. My mom's 5'0", but he kept his skates on. So everybody's jumping around and he gets bumped. And him not being that big, steps on my mom's toe and her toenail goes flying off. So we have John Bernal, our athletic therapist, cover her toe up. So she missed a lot of the celebration. And poor Sam, he was like all super upset, like felt really bad. And, the beers are flowing, so everybody's having a good time.
That's wild. Yeah, take the skates off first. Notice.
Yeah, but I don't think you get over to people's heads for the pictures, though. I think you had to keep on.
That's fair.
Is the toenail in the dog envelope as well with your teeth? Does he have that too?
Yeah, I got lost in all the wrapping, to be honest, but that would have been a good addition.
Oh man, we've heard stories about that year too. I think the cup got damaged that year. No one will spill who it was, and I don't expect them to. Everyone blamed Bob Kaiser for it.
Yeah, it saw some tough miles for sure.
Yeah, it did. So obviously we brought up the teeth. Like we've got to ask about that day, the most maybe viral hockey player photo to ever go out on Twitter ever. You taking that puck to the face, you deciding I'm going to post a selfie of this. Like, what was going through your mind after that? You were just like, oh, it's a couple more teeth, I'm good? Or
yeah, because at the time I was only missing just my front 2. It happened in juniors from a fight. So I already had 2 missing teeth and I ended up losing 8 more from that photo. And then, I don't know, my phone was just blowing up. People were like, hey, like, how you feeling? Are you doing okay? And then my dad texted me and he goes, how'd that puck taste? So the original post I had was sending to my family, like, how do you think it fucking tasted, man? Like, this sucks. And then but everybody keeps texting me. It's like, I'm just gonna throw it out there online. I'm going to get surgery right now. I'm not gonna be on my phone. So at least everybody can see it now. And the next day, Blasho wasn't a fan of that one. He goes, why'd you gotta do that? I'm like, you're right. I probably shouldn't have. Like, just being a knucklehead, my bad. But the worst
I'm not really thinking a puck just hit me in the face.
The worst part is I was supposed to get an assist on that. Corey Edmonton scored the goal and they didn't give me the assist. They waved the goal off.
Oh, I mean, we've heard you're a hockey guy, but that's the most hockey guy statement right there. Lost the assist on that one.
Well, and I think it was a little bit of karma too. Before the game, as not a lot of people know, but that was after my debut with Detroit and Columbus. So it was the next night after my debut. And so I get sent down on the plane and I go back and apparently Brent Evans jacked up his nose, where his nose was a little sideways, but I don't know if it was broken or not. Probably was. The guy's tough as nails, but he's wearing a full cage. So warm-up's like, Evie, what are you doing with a bird cage, man? Like, you don't want people to see how ugly you are? I mean, he's a good-looking guy, by the way. And he goes, oh, man, my nose is messed up. I'm like, oh, damn. And then sure enough, the second period, I got taken a puck to the face, and I had to come back using the same cage he did when I came back. And he goes, how you like that cage now? I'm like, damn it.
I love it.
How did you get the nickname Caveman?
Tutu. So,
Really?
Yeah. Tutu and Tristan Grant. Well, I think one part was because I would wake up and just put a hat on and go straight to the rink. So I think my hair was always in a mess or whatever. But another one was they said I was trying to steal everybody's goal. Which in pro, you can't do that. Everything's on a video review. But they're just chirping me about that. Like, oh, you're chiseling way more goals, huh, Caveman? So like, it just stuck. And the guy with no teeth, I suited the part.
Right? You're like, I'll take that name. It's a good one.
So.
You brought up your Red Wings debut. What was that like for you, getting that call up there to go play for the Wings?
So the behind the scenes story, which I didn't find out for like a year later, was we just had a 3-3. So 3 games, 3 nights. We started at home, Milwaukee, ended up against Chicago Wolves on a Sunday. The Chicago Wolves game was like 11 or a 1 p.m. game, like an earlier game. So we got back to Grand Rapids, I want to say like 10:30 p.m. at night. And so some of the boys are like, Golly, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, we just played 3-3. I'm going to go get some beers across the street, boys. Like, you guys want to come? Like, someone's like, yeah, sure. And then Dog goes, hey, I wouldn't go there if I were you. I'm like, screw that. We have a day out tomorrow. Like, I just played 3-3. I'm going to have beers as much as I want tonight. And so he's like, man, I think tonight's the night you should take it easy. I'm like, no way, not a chance. So the next morning, Lasho calls me like at 7 a.m. And obviously, you're going for beers tonight after you have a day off. You're not expecting to wake up anytime soon. I get a phone call and he goes, hey, you're going up. You got to be at the airport in 4 hours. I live almost 3 hours away. He goes, yeah, hurry up and get up. Go to the rink, grab your stuff. So I go to the rink and Dog's like, did I tell you to take it easy? I'm like, you knew about it? He goes, yeah. I'm like, why didn't you tell me then? And he goes, I can't tell you that. I'm like, well, I'm hurting now today. I'm struggling. And so that was cool. Then, so I get into town. They already practiced that day. So I met him at the airport. We flew to Columbus, had pregame skate. I told my parents on the drive up there. My mom couldn't make it. My sister was very, very sick at the time. And so my dad flew up and it was pretty cool. I just remember looking up at warm-ups and he looked at me like both hands in the air, like celebrating. So that was pretty cool to know you made your old man proud.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Gotta be a cool feeling. But I think the lesson here too is to listen to Dog now, right? Did you question him after this at any point, or?
I know, because I didn't get called up like a couple more years later, so I didn't have to have that conversation ever again.
I mean, you brought up Dog, obviously like a mainstay with this organization, one of the best guys that you'll ever meet. Do you have any good Dog stories you'd like to share? Because we know he listens to this, and I'm sure he'd love to hear a good one.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind was our Pink in the Rink night against Rockford.
Yeah.
Well, we had a bench clearing brawl. And I didn't get to witness this, but I wish he did. Their coach comes to the meeting between the two benches and starts yelling at our bench. And apparently Dog went and crossed and grabbed his tie and ripped it right off. And it was like trying to fight their coach. And Dog, if he gets mad, because he's never mad. He's like the nicest guy in the world. And he was so heated after. I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, I don't like that guy. He's not nice. But apparently he saw red and the guy's like, oh my God, like I was actually terrified Dog was going to rip this guy's head off. I'm like, there's no way it's Dog. Like, no, like Dog saw red. I'm like, wow. Like you got to do something pretty bad to piss off that guy. But I mean, other than that, Dog's Dog. He's the biggest teddy bear in the world.
He really is. I remember him. He brought us in one summer to interview him in the locker room in the off season, and he told us that story. And I remember the fight. You couldn't see it on TV. Him going and doing that, and I was like, "There's no way." Like knowing you, there's no way.
Yeah,
but it happened.
Yeah, no, he like I said, like you never see him that mad.
He's talked before about like obviously young pros come through this organization all the time, and he always just tries to be that good voice to keep him going. And was there any like points in your career like you were just like you were down and there he was just to bring you right back up?
I don't know like if I was down, but if you need a smile, you talk to him no matter what, because that guy sees every day as a glass half full. And if you're upset and he's getting annoyed by how upset you are, you're throwing a little pity party, he'll tell you, you play hockey for a living. What the hell are you so upset about? So
Yeah.
it was good. It was good to keep guys on their toes.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love to have him here. You've also played with some legendary leaders in this organization. You know, you look at Jeff Hogan, Nathan Pache, Brian Lashoff, and then even a few games with Dominic Shine, obviously. Just before we even get to Shiner, what was playing with those other guys like?
Hoagie was awesome. He came in my second years, but our first year was Garnet Exelby.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great leader too. Not as vocal as Hoagie, but Hoagie was a guy that organized like outings at his house, where I felt bad for his wife at the time, but now we'll think about it now. But we always went to Hoagie's house for a team Thanksgiving. We're all having like a team party. They come to my house first. His wife would order food for everybody, so we all sit there. I think one year we did the Super Bowl at their house. So they're just a great family. And you meet a lot of people as a hockey player, but seeing him as a father and like a husband and even just a great person, you don't really see that away from the rink just because we do have a job to do. So that was awesome. And then after that, we had Nathan Pache. He was probably one of my better friends on the team. He wasn't as vocal as Hoagie, but he wasn't afraid to let guys know, if you need to do something better, but he always led by example. He had, I think, a couple hundred games in the NHL. So when he did speak, everybody listened. And then even Lashoff, he's just Lash. Just a great guy.
What about current captain, Mr. Dominic Shine? What was playing with him, the younger Dominic Shine?
So we always heard rumblings he was tough. We didn't know how tough he actually was. So I didn't know how tough he was. I just thought, okay, this guy plays really hard. He's willing to fight. Then I watched him that one game. He got called for goalie interference, and then one guy goes to jump him, and he just TKO'd him in 2 seconds. I was like, thank God I never pissed him off when we were teammates, because this kid can throw. But even I went back for the bobblehead night and just seeing him, because I come back from time to time in the summer too, just seeing him around. Like if you ever meet him away from hockey, he's just such a different person. He's a very, very calm, very nice, and very willing to do anything for everybody away from hockey. And hockey, and he puts that jersey on, like, okay, don't piss this guy off.
Does it surprise you to see like how long he stuck around the game? I mean, there's all the talks of, he contemplated retirement, gets that call up to the NHL finally, and now named captain of this team. That doesn't surprise you at all, does it?
No, one, because he was really close to Lashoff. And when you are that tough, he's mentally tough too. He's not just physically tough, he's mentally tough. So I don't think he's ever not done what someone told him he can't do. Like someone's like, hey, you're not going to make it. And he proves everybody wrong. So he has that mental toughness. He has that will. He's a good hockey player, tough, and he cares so much for everybody else too. So I'm just happy that he's finally getting, the reward that we all knew that he kind of deserved. It took him, I think he's a second all-time Griffins.
Third all-time right now. Yeah, he just hit that mark the other day.
Yeah, so hats off to that guy. He's definitely earned every ounce of good talk about him.
Yeah, 100%. Even though Tango said he sucks at golf, but
you had the opportunity to play for two really good coaches here, Jeff Blashill and Todd Nelson. You talked about Jeff a little bit, but tell us, a little bit more about Todd Nelson when you played with him.
Nelly, that's going from two different kinds of coaches. A perfectionist, and one just a guy that was a former player that leads, but still has a resemblance of a former player. So just two total opposites. I mean, Nelly's the man. Every year we had the pig roast. I forgot who it was. I think it was Double A after the CU. I think he told him, like, hey, you'll start one game, but you eat the pig's eye. And he just chewed it. You just see like the eyeball gushing out of his mouth. I think he ended up puking, but he goes, all right, you start next game. Like, he's that kind of guy. Where I don't think you would have Jeff Blashill daring a guy to go eat a pig's eyeball.
It's unreal. Oh my God. Does it surprise you to see, after leaving Grand Rapids, the success that Nelly's had?
No. Because he won as a player too, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and we've won, 4 cups now?
Something like that. It's unreal.
Yeah, because guys that play for him, you fall in love with the guy. Because the harder you work, the harder you play, like the better your team does, the more he's going to do for you. He's the only coach I played for that gave us 2 days off in a row. And he makes a deal. He goes, hey, we work hard this weekend. We'll give you guys 2 days off, but, I demand you guys working hard. And you don't want to let that guy down because you want those 2 days off.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, my last question for you, man, just, look at Grand Rapids, 30 years of hockey here in GR, and not a lot of markets like this can say that about an organization. What do you think it is that makes Grand Rapids just so special?
It starts with the people involved. Kelly, the front desk, wonderful lady. Dog, obviously, he's the heartbeat of the town. And the fans, even the Booster Club, they ask questions, but they don't needle you to answering questions that you don't want to answer. And even the rink's beautiful. The locker room setup now is way better than I was there, but it's just a great small market city to play for. And while I mean small market, it's not a city like Chicago or Atlanta, it's a smaller city, but it's a great market to play for. And the owners, DeVos, Van Andel, they treat the players with so much respect, and they take care of them very, very well.
100%. You mentioned it. I'll ask this last thing. I'm sorry, but what was the worst rink you guys went to on the road? Like, you went to that arena and you're like, what the heck? Was it the one in Oklahoma?
The other one's bad, but it wasn't. It was bad because of the structure of it. The worst rink, Peoria, it was gross. It smelled like it was terrible to smell. Like, they had like all the kegs and dried out, tapped out kegs by the locker room.
Oh.
So it smelled really bad as soon as you're walking in. We were lucky we didn't go too many places in the East. Syracuse, the history, and it's great, but I think we had to walk 3 minutes just to get to the ice. For some of the players that were healthy scratches, they were like downstairs in a dungeon where they're like, I remember Trevor Parks was putting his helmet on, but he had like ducked down because the roof was so small. That ring kind of stunk too. But it's history of the AHL though.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Mitch, that's all the questions we have for you, man. Thank you so much for doing this. As we've said, getting the former guys on to talk about their times in GR. It's led to some amazing stories, great memories for me being a fan of this team for so long too, and doing this side of it and getting to talk to you guys is just unreal. So thank you for this. We appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props, live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. Currently, the NHL is on an Olympic break, but right now you can bet a plus 10,000 for Moritz Seider to win the Norris Trophy, or plus 3,500 for John Gibson to win the Vezina. Pretty good odds there for our guys. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright 2026 Reserve.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.